You can put that on your computer too.
I will. As soon as Chad shows
So
me.
you've seen the ocean many times.
Yeah, I got to see the ocean and water today.
I know, but when you were in service,
And as well as the kayaks and rowing the kayaks and a number of vessels,
Are they kayaks or canoes?
number of vessels which are in the water. So it's all the way. So it's a number of waves to the water.
It's a canoe.
Canoe.
we have a lot of Coast Guard people come out there sometimes with the big ships out there in Kailua Bay. Must have been looking like a little bit like the ships that you were on when you were where? Were you in the Merchant Marines?
United States Merchant Marines. United States Merchant Marines.
And where were you ported at? Where did you go?
Which port did I ship out of?
Yeah.
When I sailed on the Great Lakes, what was the name of the port I shipped out of?
Yeah, did you go out of Detroit, Michigan or what?
I shipped out of the port of Toledo, Ohio.
Toledo, Ohio.
Toledo, Ohio is the name of the Great Lakes port I shipped out of. When I sailed on the Great Lakes, I shipped out of the port of Toledo, Ohio.
And then you got transferred to the Pacific Ocean? You said you were in the...
No. I shipped out of the port of Toledo, Ohio 2 times. I shipped out with the Lake Carriers Association. And Toledo, Ohio was one of the Great Lakes ports.
Okay, well then, did you ever sail on the Pacific Ocean?
Yeah, I sailed on the Pacific Ocean.
Where, out of what port? Did you out of Los Angeles?
Port of Portland, Oregon.
Portland, Oregon.
And then I shipped out of the port of San Francisco.
I see.
It was a coastwise ship.
Right.
Went down the coast to San Marcos Island, Mexico. Then to San Marcos Island after I shipped aboard at Anaheim, California, which is after I traveled in a Trailways bus from the Greyhound bus station in San Francisco to Anaheim, California. And then I went aboard the vessel at Anaheim, California, and it sailed down to San Marcos Island, Mexico. Then on up the coast it sailed and backed out in the water close by the port of San Pedro, California. Then it sailed on up the coast to Seattle, Washington.
Wow.
And I got off it at nighttime on a barge at Seattle, Washington. And then I shipped out of the port of Seattle, Washington. 9.5 days later.
Wow.
And then I sailed on the Pacific Ocean like I did when I shipped out of the port of Portland, Oregon. And then I sailed aboard the ship for 8 weeks, 56 days, which was after I shipped out of the port of Seattle, Washington. That was from April 2nd, 1957 until May 28th, 1957. 8 weeks, 56 days.
So what was your total in the Merchant Marines? How long were you in the Merchant Marines?
Not long.
Maybe a year?
No.
Not quite a year.
I believe it was all told up 6 months and 3 weeks.
Well, you saw a lot of active service though. You saw a lot of you were on the water quite a while.
What was the name of the boat, Ben?
You remember the name
I'm not
of?
for certain now whether it was 6 weeks and 3, whether it was 6 months and 3 weeks.
6 months.
I'm not for sure whether it was 6 months and 3 weeks, or whether it was, but it seems to me like all told it was 6 months and 3 weeks.
Wow.
While sailing on the Great Lakes and the Pacific Ocean and the Chesapeake Bay. That's the Great Lakes and the Pacific Ocean and the Chesapeake Bay.
Wow.
And the name of the boat?
I know you.
What's the name of the boat, Ben?
I know you know where the Chesapeake Bay is located at.
That's on the eastern coast, yeah. Baltimore, Maryland, yeah.
Baltimore, Maryland.
That's right.
Baltimore, Maryland.
And you were in the nation's capital for a while. Did you ever visit the nation's capital?
One time.
One time.
When I was on my senior trip in high school.
What time of the year was it? Was it cherry blossom time?
That was during the springtime. When I was on my senior trip in high school.
And were the cherry blossoms in bloom when you went there? It was a pretty place, huh?
I was on my senior trip. I was in 12th grade at the time. Senior trip in high school.
Back in 1952. And what did you go to the Washington Monument and the Lincoln Memorial?
Yeah.
Did you see Arlington Cemetery or no?
Yeah, we went to Arlington National
That's something to see, huh?
at Arlington, Virginia,
Wow.
where the tomb of the unknown soldiers located at.
Wow. Did you see the changing of the guards or any of
Yeah,
that?
I seen change in the guard.
Wow.
No, wait, I'm not even remember whether I saw the change in the guard. I don't believe I did see the change
But
in
they
the
do
guard.
that, yeah, they do that every
At the
hour. Yeah.
Tomb of the unknown soldier.
That's quite a place, but there was guards there. There's always guards there.
Unknown military service.
That's right. And I read a little bit about those guards. To be a guard, that's a big honor in the military to be a guard there. There was when that hurricane came in through New York and was going to hit Baltimore, they had orders. The first time in the history of the United States, they had orders to stand down and not go out there. It was too dangerous for the guards to go out there, and they disobeyed the orders. They said no, that soldier needs guards, and they stood out there in the hurricane winds. That's quite a feat of valor for those guards. They wanted to honor. They said that they weren't going to let that soldier alone ever. They were going to make sure that he was out there, even when they had orders to stand down. They went out anyway. That's an interesting story that you bring that up. Well, all right, Ben, you've lived quite a life. Thanks for sharing it with us. We're really interested in all you've done, and it's something you don't meet a man that's been around like you. You're like the Beach Boys. You get around, huh?
Yeah, but it's like Beach Boys. He gets around. Come on, there, Ben's like the Beach Boys. He gets around. That's Sam just said, Rob. Ben's like the Beach Boys. He gets around.